Let's now head to the Volta region, shall we? And scores of residents in Ho have today been demonstrating. They have been demanding a refund of monies they invested in some microfinance companies. The residents accuse Little Drop Investment Club, Prosperity and Health Club, Royal Foundation, and several other microfinance institutions in the town for swindling them. Let's get an update from our Volta regional correspondent, Mauli Evuagbu, who joins me now on the line with more. So, Mauli, there's been a demonstration today, but how bad is the situation?
Well, Francis, there are thousands of people involved in this. Many of them petty traders, market women, and even very educated people, government workers who have taken their monies and invested into this kind of schemes. And these are schemes that have promised several hundred-folds of their investment. For instance, if we put about 450 cities, between 430 cities to 600 cities into a particular investment, you promise to be giving about 6,000 Ghana cities, 5,000 Ghana cities in less than 6 months. And for most of these people who have actually been benefited in the first year of the operations of these associations, clubs, and societies, and just name them, have gone ahead to invest huge sums of money. Some say they have taken loans to reinvest into this account. One petty trader, one market woman, she's a seamstress as well, spoke with me. I mentioned that she has invested about 20,000 Ghana in 3 of these schemes. So it's a widespread situation that is affecting a lot of people here.
So, Mauli, widespread, yes, but for how long has this, for want of a better word, scam been going on? Is it recent? Have these institutions closed down, and for which reason they are demonstrating today?
Well, I must say that some of these schemes have actually been paying some people some of these amounts that they have promised in the early years of their operations, starting from somewhere 2014. So from that time to 2015, there wasn't much of an apprehension. Until recently, when most of them have actually closed down their offices and are nowhere to be found, then that has caused some apprehension in the investors who have put their monies into these schemes in expectation of a huge return.
Right. So they demonstrated today. What are their demands?
Well, they are demanding that government intervenes in getting their monies back for them from Little Drop Prosperity and Good Health Development, Winners, Royal Foundation, Global Lead, Royal Care, Jodec Network, Image, Clear Image, Divine Rain. Those are just few of them to get their monies back for them. They are also asking government to investigate the involvement of banks like Stanbic Bank, Fidelity Bank, and Unity Rural Bank. These banks which have served as a collection point at the point for this scheme. They are asking government to also investigate the involvement of this bank and get justice for them. Okay.
I just saw a placard, Our Money, No Vote. What's that about?
Well, there are a few of those placards saying that they want government to work on this and get their monies for them. Other than that, they were going to boycott the November election. And so you will hear some of the demonstrators actually even say that. And one of their leaders who actually spoke with me mentioned that one of their leaders, who is Jacob Boasilenu, mentioned that if they were not giving their money, if they were, government has not helped them get their money, they're not going to vote in the coming election.
So they demonstrated today. Did they present a petition to anyone in particular to deal with their concerns?
Yeah, they were going to present a petition to the regional minister. However, she wasn't around, and so the acting coordinating director and the person of Christopher Penyo received their petition on behalf of the regional minister and promised to forward it to the appropriate quarters for details.
All right. Thank you, Mauli Evuagbu, with these details on the demonstration today in Ho. Individuals who had been swindled by the microfinance companies and investment clubs asking for their monies to be paid by government, or they will boycott this year's elections. Petition sent. Let's see what the response will be in the coming days. But this won't be the first time we're seeing this happen. Remember the one involving DKM in the Bonafo region? That was a big one. That issue is still yet to resolve. And then we are waking up to news of another one in the Volta region. Now to some other news. And a Greater Accra representative of the National Development Planning Commission, Eben Anua Ama, has urged MMDCEs to invest in waste management infrastructure, which he believes has the potential to generate revenue for development. Speaking to Joy News on the back of a stakeholders meeting organized by the United Nations on the theme Making Cities Resilient, Mr. Anua Ama added that it was important for a change in attitude of Ghanaians towards waste disposal. Poor waste management practices, he explained, is one of the major causes of perennial flooding in the country.
Well, we are here to talk about urban planning and how the city of Accra will be resilient to all the shocks of hazard. And so obviously the output of this forum, in terms of what is the requirement, in terms of the appropriate planning mechanisms, will be made available to all cities in Ghana, but particularly for Accra. So we're going to learn from all the kinds of planning schemes and models and frameworks that have been implemented across the entire world, and hopefully we'll bring all this to bear to our meeting. Now we are hoping that this then will be transformed into outputable, implementable plans for Greater Accra. So hoping that in future, the kinds of disaster that we are seeing will be a thing of the past. The issue, in my view, is not really the lack of plans or policies in that regard, or the lack of appropriate policies. The problem has to do with implementation of those policies. And so Accra will benefit greatly if we're able to, pull our resources together and make sure that we implement all these plans that have been sitting on our tables and on our decks, in our cabins, etc. And so there has to be a political will really from all stakeholders, including the state, including the civil society and others, to ensure that these plans are implemented as soon as they come out of this forum. The first problem, in my view, has to do with our attitudes, and our attitude of not really caring enough for ourselves and caring enough for our environment. Now, if we change the capital city from Accra to any other region, and we still have that attitude of just throwing out rubbish into the street, of using open latrines, of pouring liquid waste onto the street, then any other city that is made a capital will become just like Accra. And so should we move the city from Accra? Should we move the capital from Accra to any other city? It's something that we can think about. My major concern should be attitudinal change. And once we change our attitudes, I can bet you it doesn't matter where the capital city is. At the moment, most local governments raise revenue essentially through land administration, through licensing, and through profits on assets, or the way they manage their assets, so on and so forth. That has not been very effective and not enough. The way forward now is to use PPP arrangements, where the assemblies partner with others, private sector people, through a PPP arrangement to build infrastructure and to develop their communities. Perhaps in future we need to look at adapting our laws a little bit, or changing our laws a little bit, to allow the assemblies as a collective or as individuals to raise money from financial markets for development. Currently, as it is, I don't think that we'll be able to develop with that meager resources that we have.
Right, from that program, let's now head to